Good morning. Welcome to my martial arts story. I am Bradley Tolpen, and today I'd like to say a shout out to Jermaine Andre. I've met Jermaine Andre. We were at a nightclub together when a fight broke out, as a matter of fact, not between him and me. He was a professional Muay Thai fighter for years, and I read about him in an article at a Thai restaurant on Del Mar. I've gone to his now closed studio gym that was in St. Charles MMA. He's moved locations, and I have never studied with him personally, but I have interacted with him on Facebook and read his postings and even asked him a few questions about his history. Now, having said all that, speaking of Jermaine Andre and Facebook, just the other day he posted a pretty awesome jumping Yuk Chagi on the internet, a video. And his video looks very impressive, because it is, and I just want to point out a couple of things before I try it myself. First of all, when he did his video, if you look very closely, his bob, this is called bob. Bob is a body opponent bag. This is a standard bob. Bob and Jermaine were about the same height. So I've set my bob to be the same height as I am. I am nowhere near the same size as Jermaine Andre. Another day, for another martial arts story with me, Bradley Tolpen, I'll tell you about how Bob and I came to be friends. So I'm going to step in here. I'm going to take my glasses off, because typically when I'm doing martial arts, I don't wear glasses, and honestly, without corrective vision, I am nearly blind. But there have been times in my life where I was doing martial arts and I had no corrective vision. I had no glasses, I had no contact lenses. It was a scary time in the legend of the blind Guai Lo. In part, a reason I chose that title. Yuk Chagi, sidekick. Sidekick to the neck was what we saw Jermaine Andre do as a jump kick. But the target is the same height as Jermaine Andre. And this target is the same height as I am. So do I need to jump to reach the neck? I do not. I can stand. I can look at my target. I can pivot my bottom foot, which you won't see here. I'm going to lift my leg up and boom, right into the neck. Now, to do it like Jermaine Andre did it, dramatic. Jump up and do the same kick to the same place. All right, I gave it a few shots, cold, first thing in the morning. I think, given the fact that I consider myself currently out of shape, I'd started to really rebound and do very well during an early stint this year from 4th to 17th. At a club that had a swimming pool. I was getting my body to feel a little bit better after playing Santa Claus last year, and my jumps were looking pretty crisp. I was getting height. I was doing all sorts of things. Matter of fact, one of the things I chose to do was take an N-bar class. What is an N-bar class? An N-bar class uses a ballet grip bar and dance type movements to work some of the smaller muscle groups in the body. Well, I was the only man, the only gentleman in the class, and this other man, a person of authority, took issue with that, along with, I guess, some other people who were discriminatory with regard to me being the only male in the class. And I was excused from the class thereafter and left the gym shortly thereafter because I do not tolerate discrimination or harassment. It is true, during the class I did speak with one of the women. She was the instructor. And as an instructor myself, I feel that if a student wants to come and speak with me about things related to the class or their personal experience, I should be open to that. If that particular teacher had an issue with a man coming up to her and speaking about things in the class or about personal history related to the class, that's on her, not on me. Just like the man who, I guess, may have felt a little threatened, his authority a little threatened by virtue of the fact I was better than him and the only male in the class. I mean, the guy came creeping around. He was creeping, staring at the class. He was coming into the men's room, looking around. Kind of creepy. I had to report him to the police department. They didn't follow up. Anyway, having said all that, I left the class. But during the class, one other thing I do want to say, they used a small ball. They took the small ball and they set it between their legs, and they did exercises to increase the muscles that squeeze your body together, that part of your body, your outer hip flexes, your exterior hip flexes, and your inner thighs, and your area of your legs you're squeezing. At first, being the only male in the class, I felt a little uncomfortable with women squeezing the ball between their legs, and I was awfully hot with a shirt and a pullover. So I took the shirt, the sleeve shirt, off while still having the basketball type shirt on. So it wasn't like I disrobed in the class. I covered my eyes. And then I started feeling like I'd been in class for 5-6 times, and I really should be doing that exercise as well, especially because I do jiu-jitsu in addition to other martial arts. I'm a mixed martial artist. As a matter of fact, right now I'm back at a jiu-jitsu school, Gracie Hamada, and I'm thankful to be there. And what I'm going to do now, besides take off my shirt in a moment, I'm going to raise Bob up. So for the last thing I did a technique with Bob, my body opponent bag, at about the same height as me. And that was because I saw this video, what did I say? With Jermaine Andre. And I thought that it was pretty cool, and I thought I'd give a try to kick, do a flying kick of some sort into the Bob. This time, that's not what I'm gonna do. This time, this guy is a lot bigger than me. Let's make him a lot bigger. So I've moved Bob a little bit, and now that I've moved Bob a little bit, I'm gonna do a Doryo Chagi, which is the Korean way of saying round kick to, like I said, the ribs or the kidney shot, followed by a back fist to the temple, and then you'll see if I can execute my final thought. Now to do this, I am going to remove my microphone right here. Yeah, this guy is kind of like that guy I was telling you about who felt threatened, his authority felt threatened at that other gym. Thought that for some reason. Alright, so I did tell you I was going to take off my shirt. So I have. Never took off my shirt in the N-bar class. So another right leg technique, but we're going to go from here. I got to small amount of space. This is left, back, right, here. It's Bob. I can't hurt Bob. Now I'm going to jump up here. I'm going to lock this in here. And I'm going to jump up. And I'm going to take Bob down. Come on, Bob. You're going to float. You're going to float. Oh, yeah. I'd hoped to pull Bob a little bit more towards the couch, but fortunately, I did not hit my head anywhere else. There you go.